Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. So today we'll be talking about the second part of the designing process, that is the ideation part and the finalization. We'll be also taking you through some of the AV news that has been shared among the last week, and in the end we'll have a safety tip for you so you can practice this along when you're working in the workshop. So let's get started. So we start off with the EV news for this week. The first news is that electric fire trucks might soon be used for firefighting purposes among the European countries because Volvo has developed a truck named Volvo Penta, which has now changed or moved on to an electric powertrain. Now this electric powertrain has 490 horsepower, that is 360 kilowatt, and it has 50,000 Newton meter of torque. Now what this will help in doing is it will reduce the CO2 emissions, and if you look at this, it is not a particular downgrade. It helps in boosting the efficiency, since fire trucks are not used in everyday purposes like commuting. So it can be charged, and it has enough amount of power to reach at the required location in the minimum possible time. In other news, Germany has recorded 15.6% of the total vehicle sales in electric category. Now how this is a positive news is because last year during the same time, that is September 2019, they had 3.2% market share for electric vehicles, and now it has increased a lot significantly. Although still the petrol and diesel market constitutes to about 70-75%, electric vehicles are picking up, and Renault Zoe and Tesla Model 3 are the most sold vehicles over there, with 3,000 to 3,600 units each. It is followed up by the home manufacturer Volkswagen. So Germany can be seen as a very promising market for electric vehicles, since there is a rapid increase in this amount of units sold. So that's there for the electric news for this week. So now we'll be moving on to the main part of the video, that is the second part of the research, which is visualization and prototyping. Now before we continue with this, if you haven't checked out the first research part video, the link to which will be down in the description below and up in the cards too. Now talking about visualization and prototyping, we have to make sure that people from all the areas of expertise regarding what you're designing are present over there. For example, if we take the example of a chair from the previous episode, now a chair requires people who know CAD tools to design the chair. You need medical experts to study the posture and the sitting of a person on a chair and who is it being used for. And you need other people for analysis and production of that design. So you need people from different areas of expertise to bring in ideas together in order to make the design successful and usable. And otherwise, if there are not medical experts or not designing experts that are present during the whole visualization and ideation along with prototyping process, then there will be complications in the chair which might prove to be uncomfortable or unusable for the customer or the other users.
So in the ideation stage also, ideas, no matter how wild they are, they're all welcome. In the later part of the ideation stage only, you're going to analyze whether the idea is feasible or not. For example, in car also, we have people from various expertise. For example, let's say mechanical, electrical, and in mechanical also, we have people from people who are expert in CAD softwares or materials. So all of these people sit and discuss and see which idea is feasible and which idea is not. So in the research stage, we have gathered all the points. So these points act as facts or dots in your brain, and in the ideation stage you find patterns and you connect all those dots and get newer ideas. So in this to connect the patterns, to form patterns, you should ask questions, and you should be curious about the facts which are there, and then you generate the ideas.
So one of the easiest way to express your ideas is mind mapping. In mind mapping, you use multiple keywords and branch them out into further deeper study. This way you know what topic you are working on. It helps you get detailed keywords regarding the whole topic, and later on you can form and develop your ideas according to the keywords specified in the mind mapping process. So if there is a main keyword, you can branch it out like a family tree into multiple other subtopics which are much more important.
In a similar way, in the car also, if you're starting the car design from the scratch, or if you don't have design from the previous year, you can draw and sketch. That you can not only sketching is not only done in the book or by hand. There are sketching softwares, especially for automobile industry and all. For example, they use Autodesk Alias. So you can create the sketch to get the initial ideas, to express the ideas. And then next is storytelling. So in storytelling, you're visualizing the situation and you're testing your product like virtually, like in the mind, telling that this situation might be there, so you have to change your design according to this. So your design might vary according to the scenario. For example, you can imagine a rollover scenario in your car and then implement various design changes, and this will contribute to the car being more safe. Or you can also consider your car is being transported from your place to the event. So you want to make the transportation much more easier and cost effective. So you will design the parts for disassembly. For example, the parts can be disassembled easily and then packed in a compact box and then transported. So by imagining all these scenarios where the product will go through its life cycle, so you can design better products. So by storytelling and by writing down different scenarios of your product, you can get a better product.
Moving on to the next process, that is modeling. So in modeling, you make the final prototype of what you are developing, and it generally does not have to be the size and the proportions of that as mentioned in your design. It can be a scaled down version of that in order to show the other people of how your design looks after all the iterations and all the changes and all the refinement you have done. Now all these modeling concepts can be done using wood, PVC pipes, and talking about cars, it is generally done by clay. So basically there is a clay model with all the designs and all the specifications of the outside, which is scaled down into a smaller version, so that all the other people who are being shown this model can visualize what the designer has in mind. This also helps the marketing team to understand what they are working on and make the customer understand what they'll be getting during the launch.
So after all these, you can go ahead and design with accurate dimensions in your CAD softwares. Now there are various CAD softwares like CATIA, SolidWorks, Creo, 3D Experience, XDesign. So each one is unique in their own way and they have their own tools. So you can use any one of them and then design it, and you can feel free to go to any part of the stages like the research stage or the ideation stage, check back, reflect on your ideas and then come back again and design. And then once you have finished modeling your product, you can next phase is to check whether it can be manufactured well or not. And here there are different analysis software, simulation software, and there are some extra additional checks to be done. For example, in SolidWorks you have something called the sustainable design, wherein you see whether your design is sustainable or not. You consider the whole life cycle of your product and then see which part of the product cycle is affecting the environment and reduce the environmental impact of your product. So this way you can make a more sustainable product. So in this way you can analyze the strength with different softwares like HyperWorks and ANSYS, and then you can simulate in the CAD softwares itself for mechanisms to see whether they are perfectly working. This is a iterative process and it takes a very long time, but you will get the final product and you won't have much time. I mean, you won't have to put in more effort in your manufacturing process and doing corrections in your manufacturing process. You can do it all in the design stage itself. We'll move on to the safety tips section of the video. So when operating different kinds of machines, first of all you should know how to operate them. In addition to that, you should also know the safety hazards which comes with the machine. For example, in larger machines like in industries and all, there is something called standard operating procedures. So these standard operating procedures are to be followed to operate the machine safely and efficiently. So there is also something known as the foreign object damage, that is FOD. So foreign object damage can be anything which is not meant to be there or which can potentially cause an hazard to that particular machine. It can be anything like paper clips or dust. Even human beings can be an FOD, which will, if the humans are not placed properly, like you put your hands and it gets stuck into the machine, it causes damage for the machine and it causes safety hazard for the human beings. So you have to abide by the procedures of operating that particular machine, and if you don't have one, you can set up the standards in your workplace and go according to that, so that there'll be no safety hazards there. Always keep your workplace clean, that is free from FOD, and then if you keep it organized, you won't have the common mishappening or safety hazards like slips, trips and falls, and you'll have a better and safe workplace.